All right, hello ladies of Mary Baldwin College. Dr. Tausman coming to you once again. Today we're going to talk about a two-factor analysis of variance. Just a brief review first. In the last few weeks we've covered a t-test, and if you remember with the t-test you have one independent variable, one dependent variable, and the independent variable has two levels. The other thing we talked about last week was a one-factor ANOVA, where you have one independent variable, potentially multiple levels of that. So we talked about multiple drug levels of something and one dependent variable. So this week we're going to start something new, which is going to be the example of a two-factor analysis of variance. So I'd like you to take some notes on the following situations. Let's say you were doing a study to try to understand how gender and drug impacts pain perception. If you were going to do something like that, then you would actually probably want to do a two-factor ANOVA. So for that particular example, if you look at the matrix I set up, if you want to look at gender and drug impacting pain perception, hopefully you could figure out that the dependent variable is what? Hopefully you figured out that the dependent variable is pain perception. The independent variables, you've got drug being one, none and the drug. So one independent variable with two levels there, and the quasi-independent variable of gender with two levels. So this is an example of a 2x2 factorial design is what it's called. You have two independent variables, each with two levels. So it's a 2x2 design. Look at example D here. With example D, if it was a situation here with you wanted to understand how race and socioeconomic status influence attitudes about affordable health care, you might measure people's attitudes. And in this situation, if you look at race, we have three levels of that quasi-independent variable: white or Caucasian, African American, and Hispanic. So that's one independent variable with three levels. And then SES, you might have low, medium, and high levels of that. So that would be a 3x3 design. So hopefully you understand both of these situations have two independent variables. We would do a two-factor ANOVA analysis on this. The third example is the example of alcohol and pills. And this one we're going to really go into detail on through the couple of presentations. But let's just say I was measuring motor performance in a group of people. Let's say I had a group of 12 people, and I wanted to see how alcohol and pills, in this case Xanax, affected motor performance. If you look at the matrix, can you see how this is also a 2x2 design? You have two independent variables. They're both manipulated by the experimenter. No beer and 72 ounces of beer, and that's for alcohol. And pills with the Xanax, you've got no Xanax and 50 milligrams of Xanax. So this is a 2x2 design, and hopefully this makes sense with the other two examples as well. We'll get started with the data in just a minute. Thanks. Bye-bye.